during the Kickstarter, he redesigned it, and that's this board. And anyway, if anybody's interested in surface mount soldering, you could come and look at it, because the guts are all hanging out. We could talk about it. And one other quick thing, I may or may not be back from out of town at the meeting. I'm flying back the day of the meeting next month. And so if the airlines do what they like to do so often.
Your bag will be here, but you won't? Okay.
So anyway, we need to think about that. The signs were snafu'd earlier. Anyway, that's it.
Okay, there was some traffic on the mailing list about oscilloscopes. I don't know if the person who sent the original request.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know there were at least 2 people who said they were going to bring theirs to show. I was one of those. I have mine.
Here's the one. I put a link to the video though, so I probably do a better job in the video. I just talked about this thing. So Seed sent this to me, I don't know, 6 months ago. And they're getting ready to. Yeah, it's a little, and it's a touch. Well, they call it a touch, but it's not a touch screen. It's got a little touch on here, but it's a hobby level oscilloscope, $150. So, you know, if you're a, you know, for a software guy who likes to do embedded stuff, it's good. But if you're doing crazy RF stuff, this might not cut it.
And how many analog and digital channels?
This one, it has two analog channels, and a wave out. I have one that this is my own one that I bought a few years ago. This earlier model. It's got a really quirky interface, but it's got 2 analog and 2 digital inputs and a wave out. And the cool thing is I've replaced the firmware on it. The actual firmware that came with it kind of stinks, but they open sourced it, so a bunch of people like improved it and made their own. And it has the chip that they used had a lot of extra flash space, so it's divided into like slots. So you can. I have several different firmwares I can boot by pressing different buttons. So,
you're the top nerd this week.
Yeah.
I hacked my oscilloscope.
I have selectable firmware on my oscilloscope, on my pocket oscilloscope.
Yeah, you know, like I said, if you're doing something, if you're really familiar with, if you've worked with nice oscilloscopes and you look at this, you might be disappointed by whatever, but I like it.
What's the analog bandwidth on those?
Oh, that's. I'll have Michael get back to you on it.
Touche.
Touche. Seed Studio, it's SEEED.
And I brought my Quantasylum Q100, which has 2 10-bit, 2 analog and 12 or 16 digital. The one drawback is that digital inputs are 3.3 volts. And so if you want to do an Arduino that does 5, you've got to do some level shifting. I designed a little board that does that. Keep that permanently attached. And I'll have it running on my laptop after we break up.
Was that logic analyzer or actual oscilloscope?
It's both.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 2-channel scope and 12. Although I only have 8 signals level converted at the moment.
So just the digital are 3 volt or they all?
Correct. The analog is 0 to 20 or 30 or something both.
I think this one's the same where I think that the analog can do up to 70 volts. No, it can do mains power.
It
so
depends on your probe.
Right. Yeah, they have a multiplier, and I think this can do like 400 or something crazy if you have the right probe.
Which unit is that, John? Is it
This is the C, oh,
the DSO Touch?
This is the, yeah, this is the DSO Quad, the one I bought, and then the new one that they just came out with is the DSO Touch.
He's not allowed to say it here with NC State regulations, but I can say that the guy in the white shirt is part of a local company called Amibit.com, AMIBIT.com, and he sells this stuff.
Well,
As an FYI.
yeah, I don't have these. This was a
Well,
beta
I
one.
mean, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I should have said.
okay, anybody else have a presentation they wanna make before we break up into informal discussion? Any other questions? Newcomers that we're hoping to get something more low level than what we've presented so far?
I have one question. Do you guys ever do, have any sessions where you can, somebody can work with you and do higher level Arduino coding? Or is it just, you should know it before you come to?
Well, you said higher level. We can work beginners and,
Yeah.
and do low level,
Yeah, well,
introductory.
okay. And then
Maybe
you
that's
just-
what you meant by higher level.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can certainly.
It depends on your definition of higher level.
I should mention that even though that meeting that he mentioned, that's the
It's flat space.
fourth
Thursday.
Thursday at Splat Space in Durham. It's called Raspberry Pi Geeks, but at the last meeting, the agenda went out the window in the first 60 seconds, and people just talked about whatever they wanted to. I mean, there's some flexibility there, unless someone wants to really impose more structure on it than it's traditionally had.
Yeah, so if
And
Yeah.
when we break up, if there's not a bunch of people wanting to look at the oscilloscope stuff, or after they're done, I'd be happy to see what you're interested in and show you some stuff.
And another thing is that every Sunday evening at Splat Space, they have what they call Software Sunday. And they're specifically open to helping people with everything from beginning Arduino to inertial guidance or something. I mean, just a whole range of stuff.
What would that be listed under? Is there a website?
Splatspace.org, SPLATSPACE.org.
Yeah, that group is awesome.
Not Raspberry Pi focused.
The Software Sunday is all over the map. There's everything from,
Linux stuff.
there are typically Python hyper experts there that can.
They have like Blender 3D modeling days, and they're all over the map. They're an awesome group to hang out with.
And they need your money. If you've got any extra money when you go visit there, there's a place to put money on the wall. Stick money in that box. It's unbelievable. I mean, they can't afford a shoestring, right? I mean, if they're saving their money to buy a shoestring. I mean, it's an unbelievable, modest organization, and they haven't figured out how to ask for money yet, so I'm doing that for them.
Okay, Bill, I thought there was a question over here.
I've got a request. I've been working with Wake Robotics, and we've got a few of the little bits that have suffered a little bit of children action, and I've got some vibrating motors that need to be resoldered, and I might have been able to do it 20 years ago without a microscope, but I'm past that point now. So if anybody has a microscope that could easily, and no pressure, if they're dead, but
Do you see the connection?
oh, sure. Here's that if you'd like it.